In the 1970s, Hollywood was loud. Laugh tracks, primetime TV, and stars who burned bright before they ever learned to slow down. Right at the center of that moment stood Ralph Carter, a young actor whose face became part of America's living rooms almost overnight. But while many chased the noise, Carter chose something rarer: distance. Today, his life unfolds far from studio lights, in the quiet hills of California, where reflection matters more than recognition. To understand why he stepped away, we have to go back to how early fame found him, and how quickly it demanded a choice. Ralph Carter, born Ralph. David Carter, on May 30th, 1961, in New York City, entered the entertainment world long before he had the chance to understand it. Public records reveal very little about his parents or early family life, and that silence feels fitting. Carter grew up in a city where talent was currency and opportunity arrived early, but guidance didn't always arrive at the same pace. What is clear is that he was surrounded by culture. Music, theater, and performance were part of his daily environment, shaping his instincts before most children learn who they are. Some accounts suggest Carter attended Lincoln Square Academy, where he was a classmate and friend of Lawrence Fishburne, another young talent navigating adult expectations far too early. From the start, Carter showed an unusual mix of discipline and sensitivity, qualities that would soon carry him onto professional stages. At just 9 years old, he made his Broadway debut in The Me Nobody Knows, a musical that explored the inner lives of urban youth. It was not light material, and Carter didn't play it lightly. Roles followed quickly: Tough to Get Help, Dude, and Via Galactica. But it was Raisin that changed everything. Cast as Travis Younger, Carter delivered a performance that stunned critics. The industry took notice immediately. He won the 1973 Drama Desk Award for Most Promising Actor, the 1974 Theatre World Award, and earned a Tony Award nomination, all before most kids finish middle school. That level of recognition drew the attention of Norman Lear, the most influential television producer of the era. Lear was redefining American TV with All in the Family, Sanford and Son, and Maude. When he developed Good Times, a spin-off centered on Florida Evans, he made an unusual move. Because of Carter's success on Broadway, Lear bought out the remainder of Carter's theater contract to bring him to television. Carter was cast as Michael Evans, the youngest son, smart, outspoken, politically aware. For many American households, Michael became the thinking voice of the family, a child who questioned authority and challenged the status quo. At the same time, Carter explored music. In 1975, he released an album titled Young and in Love on Mercury Records. The lead single, a cover of When You're Young and in Love, was performed on Soul Train, a major platform at the time, and reached the Billboard R&B chart. A second single followed, and for a brief moment, Carter looked poised to cross fully into music stardom. A later single in 1985 failed to gain traction, signaling that the momentum was slowing. Unlike many child stars, Carter didn't chase relevance at all costs. He stepped back, returned to theater intermittently, and appeared in productions like Ain't Supposed to Die a Natural Death in 2005. The spotlight had come early, and just as early, it had taught him restraint. That choice, to step away rather than burn out, would eventually shape where and how he chose to live. And to see that decision fully formed, we now turn to his California estate, the place he calls home. California Estate. High above the noise of Napa Valley tourism, in the quiet hills of Angwin on Howell Mountain, Ralph Carter found a setting that feels deliberately removed from performance. This is not a Hollywood showpiece or a celebrity compound designed for headlines. It's a ranch that reads more like a pause button, one pressed intentionally. The property carries the storybook charm people associate with Napa: rolling terrain, orchards, and gardens, but without the polish of a wine mogul's estate. The home itself blends historic ranch character with quiet modern updates. Inside, light does most of the talking. Large windows line the interior, pulling vineyard rows and garden greens into nearly every room. There's no dramatic chandelier moment, no marble staircase built to impress visitors. Instead, the design favors openness and calm, spaces that invite you to sit, read, or simply look outside. A spacious loft adds flexibility to the layout. It can function as a guest space, a writing retreat, or a place to step away when the world feels too loud. Below, the open-plan living area flows naturally toward the outdoors, blurring the line between interior and landscape. It's easy to imagine long afternoons here. Doors open, light moving across the floor, conversation optional. Outside, the property leans fully into country life. Lush gardens, orchards, and wide-open views surround the house, giving the estate a manor-like presence without the stiffness that often comes with that label. It's the kind of place where mornings arrive quietly and evenings don't need entertainment. And despite the sense of isolation, the ranch sits just 20 minutes from Napa Valley, close enough for access, far enough to preserve solitude. One detail adds to the mystique. Carter has never publicly confirmed whether he fully owns the property or leases it for extended stays. That uncertainty almost strengthens the narrative. It suggests impermanence, a reminder that this space may be less about possession and more about purpose, a place to reflect, not to plant flags. It's also worth noting that this ranch is not an escape from life, but a counterbalance to it. Carter continues to spend much of his time in New York City, staying connected to theater and education. He remains active with organizations like AUDELCO, supporting African American theater and audience development, while prioritizing time with family. And with a life structured this deliberately, the natural question becomes financial rather than emotional. How does a career that burned bright early translate into long-term stability? That leads us to the next section: income and net worth. His estimated net worth of around $1 million reflects a career built on steady work, cultural impact, and longevity, rather than headline deals or late-life reinvention. The backbone of Carter's income has always been television, specifically Good Times, 1974 to 1979. As Michael Evans, he was a core cast member across 6 seasons of one of the most widely syndicated sitcoms in American television history. During the show's original run, Carter earned a regular salary. More importantly, Good Times never really left the air. Residuals from reruns, re-airings, and broadcast licensing have provided a modest but reliable stream of passive income for decades, an old-school Hollywood safety net that rewards staying power over splash. Before television, and long after it, theater remained central. Carter's Broadway career began remarkably early and carried prestige that few child actors achieve. Performances in The Me Nobody Knows, Raisin, Dude, and other stage productions didn't just generate income, they built reputation. Raisin alone brought a Tony nomination, Drama Desk recognition, and a Theater World Award. While theater pays less than television, it pays in credibility, and for Carter, it laid the foundation for every opportunity that followed. Music added a third layer. In 1975, Carter released the album Young and in Love under Mercury Records. The lead single, a cover of When You're Young and in Love, charted on the Billboard R&B chart, followed by Extra Extra, Read All About It. Though his recording career was brief, it produced income from album sales, performances, and, more recently, nostalgia-driven streaming royalties, as classic R&B and disco-era tracks find new audiences online. A later single in 1985 didn't chart, but the catalog continues to generate small, ongoing returns. What's notable is not how much Carter earned, but how long his work has continued to pay. He avoided the boom and bust cycle that defined many of his peers. No financial scandals, no public bankruptcies. And as Carter's focus shifted away from earning, it moved toward giving, especially through education, mentorship, and the arts. Philanthropy. His philanthropy reflects the era that shaped him: personal, hands-on, and deeply tied to African American artistic legacy. One of Carter's most consistent commitments has been education and youth development. After stepping away from full-time acting, he turned toward teaching, working at the Center for Child Development at the City University of New York, CCNY. There, he focused on guiding young people through creative expression, literacy, and emotional development. It wasn't celebrity mentoring. It was classroom-level involvement, the kind that rarely makes headlines but leaves lasting impact. Carter also became a prolific children's author, writing more than 20 books aimed at young readers. His stories often center on identity, self-worth, and imagination, themes that mirror his own childhood experience navigating adult spaces too early. In an era before social media activism, writing books was a powerful way to reach families directly, one household at a time. Preserving African American culture, especially theater, has been another cornerstone of his philanthropic life. Carter has served as vice president of AUDELCO, Audience Development Committee, an organization dedicated to recognizing excellence in African American theater and expanding audiences for Black-led productions. AUDELCO's mission aligns closely with Carter's own career roots on Broadway, where Black performers historically fought for visibility and institutional support. Beyond theater, Carter has been involved with organizations such as the Museum of African Culture and Arts, helping promote cultural preservation, education, and access for younger generations. His work in this space reflects a belief that representation isn't enough. History must be taught, archived, and actively shared. In keeping with the spirit of his time, Carter's philanthropy has also overlapped with community-based arts programs, literacy initiatives, and local cultural nonprofits in New York. These efforts may not carry massive funding numbers, but they fit a model common to artists of his generation: sustained service over spectacle. That same philosophy, presence over publicity, extends into his private life, where stability and discretion have mattered far more than recognition. Personal life. While many child stars from the 1970s struggled to separate fame from adulthood, Carter did the opposite. He drew a firm line between public work and private responsibility. His first marriage was to Lisa Parks, the sister of his closest friend. The two met in 1982 at a Christmas party, a setting that already hints at how grounded his life had become by then. After several years together, they married in February 1987. Their relationship lasted about 5 years, ending in divorce in 1992, but it produced something far more lasting than headlines. 2 sons, Michael Carter, born March 10, 1988, and James Carter, born September 8, 1989. Even after the marriage ended, Carter remained actively present as a father, prioritizing stability over celebrity lifestyle. In 1994, Carter married his second wife, River York, in a quiet ceremony on December 20th after a brief engagement. This marriage would become the cornerstone of his adult life. The couple stayed together for more than 3 decades and raised 3 children: Phoenix Carter, born September 1995, Jessica Carter, born April 23, 1997, and Vivica Carter, born July 1999. By the late 1990s, Carter was no longer a former TV star. He was a full-time parent, living far from Hollywood's orbit. In total, Ralph Carter is the father of 5 children, 2 sons from his first marriage, and 1 son and 2 daughters from his second. Unlike many public figures, he never used his family as part of a public narrative. No reality TV, no tell-all interviews, no social media oversharing. His children grew up largely outside the glare that defined his own childhood. Over the years, Carter was also subject to persistent rumors about his sexuality, particularly speculation that he was gay, claims that circulated periodically in online forums, biographies, and fan discussions. These rumors reflected a broader pattern in Hollywood, especially during the 1970s and 1980s, when male actors who avoided tabloid culture often became targets of unfounded speculation. Carter never publicly engaged with these narratives. Instead, he let consistency speak for itself. Decades-long relationships, a stable family structure, and a life lived away from gossip cycles. And with that quiet consistency in place, the story naturally moves toward its final reflection: what it means to step away from fame and actually succeed at it. In a culture obsessed with returning to the spotlight, Carter's legacy reminds us that sometimes the bravest move is to leave it behind and live well anyway. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, subscribe, and share your thoughts below. And here's a question for you. If fame came early, would you know when to walk away?